You should ask more than anybody's willing to pay, and you'll get your highest bidder.
I love this, and my regular viewers are going to love this conversation. How long have you guys been watching me?
I have not watched that single episode.
This is going to be awesome.
And I have watched a lot.
You've watched a lot?
So I'm over here laughing.
Because you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do know what you're going to say.
Hey, it's me, Katie, and today I am excited to be with Carolyn and Ray, and we are going to talk about their house in Virginia. They're going to sit down with me. We're going to go everything, kind of like this is just a listing appointment. This is what you should expect when you are talking to your agent who comes to your house. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, guys, how are you?
Fine.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for people to do this. I know it's a lot to put yourself out there and to get all ready and to send me all the pictures and everything. So why don't you tell me about your situation a little bit?
For me, I guess the biggest pressure to sell our house will be we don't have a first floor master. And I would like to have a first floor master before we have to have one and have to find one urgently. So we're proactively sort of getting ready. We don't need it now, but proactively getting ready and maybe being closer to her.
I'm just looking at some of the stuff I have. I've got a bunch of screens going on here, everybody. So we're just going to work with me on this. So you had filled out my seller questionnaire, which is great because it really kind of shows me where you're at. This is what I give to people when I'm going to their house ahead of time. And some of the things you told me is that you're looking at about 1 to 2 years, correct?
Right. That's a guess. Yep.
Okay.
Trying to get ready. We haven't moved in 23 years. So
Yeah.
I've heard you say over and over again, everything's changed.
Everything's changed, but I think you got a good base on this. So now you paid $206,000. Do you have a mortgage left on your home?
About 100,000.
Okay. You've done a lot of work in the house, and we're going to talk about that as we kind of go through the pictures with you. A couple of things I ask in my questionnaire is that, what is really more important to you, the commission you pay or the money you keep in your pocket at the end of the sale? One of my answers is that, wait, is this a trick question?
I sit here and go,
right. It's a trick question because the goal really is to keep the money in your pocket. It doesn't matter what the commission is, because if you have an agent who's negotiating better, then you're going to have more money at the end of the day. So that is a trick question, I believe. And now the price, and I always ask this as well. Some sellers give me this information before I go into my listing presentations, and some do not. And that is, what do you think your house is worth? Now, a lot of people won't give that to me out of the gate because they think that it's cheating. Like, I'm going to hear what they say, and then I'm going to adjust my numbers for that. And what it really does is, by hearing that number, it allows me to position the conversation better. Because if, the sellers are thinking they're getting, $1 million and I'm thinking they're only getting 500, then it's a better way for me to kind of lead into the conversation. So that's what I use it for. So tell me, what price do you think you can get for your house?
I'm not sure, but I had a couple of realtors calling me a year and a half, a year ago. I said I didn't know that we were interested in selling, and he talked to me about the house and all the things that we've done for this house. We did to enjoy and live in, right? That's why we made all those changes. And he guessed it was 800,000, but that was a year or more ago.
Do you feel like the market's changed in your area?
I could give you an estimate somewhere between 8 and 9, but that would be, I would think, where I would list it. Okay. You only get what people will pay for it. So
that's true. What price do you think it should be listed for?
I would say 850 to 9.
859. What price do you think it'll sell for?
Hopefully 850.
What is the number you will not take less than when you go to sell?
I don't know that I know enough to be able to answer that question, because it is what people are willing to pay.
It's a popular neighborhood, correct?
It has been in high demand for decades.
Okay.
And the last several houses that have sold were sold after a bidding war broke out between potential buyers. Mm-hmm. And I told Carolyn, that's leaving money on the table. You need to ask for, if they don't come and ask for you to reduce the price, you're not asking enough.
Say that again. If they don't come
to you and say, I have an offer that's below what you're asking, then you haven't asked enough, is my opinion. You should ask more than anybody's willing to pay, and you'll get your highest bidder.
All right. I love this. And my regular viewers are going to love this conversation. How long have you guys been watching me?
I have not watched that single episode.
This is going to be awesome.
And I have watched a lot.
You've watched a lot?
So I'm over here laughing.
Because you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do know what you're going to say.
So a house is worth, like you just said, what a buyer is willing to pay for it. And the biggest mistake you can make is overpricing your home. And the reason why is because when you price it too high, the buyers who are looking up to the realistic number will not even see the house. So let's pretend, and I don't know what your house is worth. Okay. Like,
and he doesn't go on Zillow. So he doesn't know they go 25, 50, 75.
Yeah.
I understand the theory. It's like eBay or anything else. You put in limits, and if you're on the outside of the limits, you don't get looked at.
Right. Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through this. I'm going to show you the pictures. I'm going to start with how I kind of do a normal, view to see what a house is worth. Okay. So let's start with this. That's your house, right?
That's it.
So this is your house. Now look at what that Zestimate says.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of that number? What do you think of that number?
That would surprise me. That would put us at the low end of the neighborhood.
There are houses in the neighborhood that may sell for that, but this house, is move-in ready, and there is really everything is up to snuff on maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go over that, and I don't want you to feel like I have any preconceived notions right now at this point. This is what I typically do. Okay, now. Zillow.
And we want to learn because we haven't done this in 23 years.
Okay. So Zillow is, I use Zillow to give me like an idea of the algorithm of the averages in your area. Now, Zillow can get off for sure, no question. But what this shows me is that when it's looking at the algorithm of the homes that have sold and are active and have the square footage that you have, bedrooms, bathrooms, that's the number it's kicking out. Now, that does not take into consideration how hot your neighborhood is or what you have in your home. But what I do see in your home is that it's only 2,300 square feet.
Right. It's actually about 2,600.
2,600. Now, tell me about that. How do you come up with the 2,600 versus what this says right there?
We bought it at 24 something, and I don't remember the something square feet, but we put on that right-hand side, and it is part of the inside. We have a big mudroom with big closets and HVAC.
It was unfinished with unfinished drywall.
The tax assessor did not include that in the original 2,300 square feet?
No, he did not.
Okay, so you now have that included in this taxes. The assessor has that number, correct?
The tax assessor hasn't been back or measured or whatever.
Well, they get it from building records.
Yeah, they'll get it usually from a permit. So I want to talk about square footage here, just because this has been an ongoing conversation, square footage for sure. The assessed number that the assessor has is apples to apples, okay? Some people can get square footage by running a tape measure around the whole building, right? Or just measuring the inside of the rooms wall to wall, but you're missing closets or you're missing bathrooms, right?
And wall space.
Yeah, wall space. So you're missing a lot of square footage depending on how you do it. What I know for sure, at least in my area, both areas, is that the assessor is the assessed number. Now, I don't know if you have 2,300 square feet or 2,500 square feet, but I do know that if your neighbor has 2,800 square feet, that they are 500 square feet, 300 square feet more than you. So that number, you have to be very careful in how you're looking at it as far as when you're looking for a home, because they're not always accurate depending how the agent puts it in. So right now, this number is probably the assessed number. But what's going to happen is you're going to say, no, we're actually 2,450 because we've measured it ourselves. Well, maybe the assessor has it. Maybe they just haven't put it in. So that's something you want to be talking about and understanding. So all I see here is that you are a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, not 2.5.
2.5.
2.5 bath, 2,300 square feet.
Right.
In a fantastic neighborhood.
Yeah, you're going to hate us.
What?
We are one of those families you hate.
Why?
It is now only 3 bedrooms.
It's 3 bedrooms?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that.
There was one very small bedroom that would hold a crib and a changing table, and that was it. And it was between our bedroom and our daughter's bedroom, and the attic stair access was in that room. We took it and made big walk-in closets for both rooms. Closet space was horrible here.
Okay, so you've added something that's going to add to the market value, but detract from the appraised value.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now you are going to have to put, when you go to sell, it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and you probably can say 2,450 or whatever you want to say on the square footage. Just know that it may not be apples to apples on that, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Okay.
Okay.
And it looks super cute, I must tell you.
Would that be part of the service that an appraiser would provide, is to give us the square footage?
Well, that's the thing, is that if you're going to have an appraiser come out and measure the square footage, that's not necessarily going to be apples to apples to your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
So I would not spend the money on somebody to measure that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
That
not
is
worth
my
it.
question.
That's fair.
And an agent that you talk to in your neighborhood is going to know how it works much, much better for their neighborhood than me talking to you about it right now. My goal is to give you guys enough information where you now are educated enough that you can go ask that local agent who can give you more information.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. So now when I'm looking at Zillow, it'll show you what they think the comps are. Again, I literally have no idea. But what it's showing me is that these homes are not in the 800 range, and we've got a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,300 square feet. So let's talk about these specific locations a little bit, because I assume you know these houses, correct?
Yes. Well, some of them.
Let's go here and just take a look at this one and see.
That's our next door neighbor.
So it was sold in 2008. So that's not going to give us a great comp, because we want something that's kind of close to where you are. So we might have to do a specific search.
We have not had a for sale sign in this neighborhood in
2 years, 2 or 3
2.5
years.
to 3 years, which is unusual. We used to get them every summer.
Okay, so I'm going to run some kind of comps here. We're going to just look. Okay, an agent who comes into your house, though, is going to know this inside and out. So I'm just going to give you an idea if your 800 is kind of close or it's closer to this 500. If you're in that hot of a neighborhood, I'm going to say you're closer, my guess.
To be fair, when I talked with him, he said 680, 650. And then I told him what we had done in the house, and he goes, probably you can get more, maybe even 800.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at sold homes, and we want them to be picked in the last 12 months.
Yeah, 610 and 580 at the top are both. I don't think they're recent, actually. They're a long time ago.
These would have been in the last 12 months, because what I did is I did sold in the last 12 months. Now that sometimes Zillow's wrong. Okay, so this sold within the last year. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,300 square feet with a pool.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is kind of look at the inside of this and see. Looks cute too. I don't know if pools are good in your area or not. Sometimes
They're usually a detractor.
Detractor, okay.
More people don't want them than.
Okay, and they're not showing us many insides. Okay, so here's the inside. You can see.
It's an open floor pan.
Mm-hmm. Kitchen's a little older. It's got hardwood. It's got tile.
Yeah, definitely dated.
A little dated. So when I'm going to a listing appointment, what I do ahead of time is I will look at pictures like this before I walk into a home and look at them, because it gives me an idea. It's pretty dated. So now what I'm thinking to myself is, okay, this home sold for $610 and it's dated. It's got one more bedroom, which puts an appraisal issue. It's 2,300 square feet. You're probably a little bit bigger than that.
I was thinking with the slope ceilings and stuff, we probably have more cubic feet.
Well, they're not really gonna count that, because you got to look at the market value versus the appraised value. So the market value is, what is a buyer going to pay? Now, that pool may have been a detractor, or it may have been a reason somebody wanted to buy it. So I don't really know, but like I said, a local agent in your neighborhood can definitely do that. Do you have a relationship with the local agent?
No, when we're ready, I'd like to talk to you about that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what we do when we're finding agents is we're going to find the top agents for your area. And then you're going to talk to 2 or 3 of them. And, I think it's good to talk to them sooner rather than later, just because of this conversation, because you don't want to be blindsided, especially if the market's kind of going down. So this is what I'm seeing here right now, is that I'm not seeing anything over 610 unless I go over here. Let's see, there's a 780 down here. Is this the same type of location as yours?
Sure. Is that
Yes, off of Denora. Yes, it's
very
similar, probably bigger house.
It's across the street, might be bigger.
Yeah.
It's 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4,600 square feet.
Yeah.
So an appraised comp is not going to work for this. This will put you much, much lower for appraised comps. Now let's talk about your neighborhood, okay? Because you've told me that you have a very, very hot neighborhood, right?
Right.
Yeah, it has been consistently
Since we moved in.
the last 10 years. It's been a bidding war when people have sold.
Okay. Like, let's look at this one here. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square feet at 580. Now, this sold last October. So it's been, 9 months or so. It's cute, really cute. It's somewhat updated, and kitchen's okay. I don't love the floors, but that's okay. It looks very clean.
Is that tile? Floor?
Yeah, I think it's like a tile.
Of course, now they make linoleum tile, so
Mm-hmm.
or vinyl tile, I guess.
Yeah.
Tile.
Lots of gray going on here.
Oh yeah.
The whole everything's gray, including the furniture.
And these, I think, are skylights here. You can't even tell.
Yeah, they are.
Skylights or lights.
No, they were skylights.
So I don't love these pictures. And the reason why is because the outside is not exposed along with the inside. It's just, it's fine. They're fine.
More gray.
They seem like the layout of the inside is not coherent.
Okay. So let's talk about this house compared to your house.
Okay.
All right. So this sold for $580. How is your home better than this one? What are your thoughts on that?
What differentiates it to me in the images is that this house has more character. We have a lot of picture molding. Every room has crown molding now, not just cabinets, but shelving as well, bookcases. It has character. That was clean and it was updated.
Neat things about our house, like the kitchen. I made cherry countertops that are 12 and a half feet long or so. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And we have an undermounted sink, which when we went and tried to get a contractor specialized in kitchens to do this, he said, you can't do an undermounted sink in a wood countertop. And I'm like, challenge accepted.
Good.
But the kitchen is also really interesting because it's got three double French doors that lead out to call us crazy, 1,200 square foot deck.
And I've spent 20 years gardening, and the soil out here is, you can't get it. You can't buy it.
So your home is a modern move-in, because we did the quiz and I know it's a modern move-in, which is the very, very top of all of it. Everything's done, updated, appliances, everything is in great shape. So all my viewers out there, if you have not downloaded the Seller's Playbook, make sure you download it. It's free. But in there's that quiz that's going to tell you which one of the 5 categories you have. And Carolyn and Ray have the top category. It's a modern move-in. And we're going to get into that in just a second. I'll go through all the pictures.
Make sure you get the new one because the extra 4 pages are really worth it.
Good. That's great.
The other thing is a lot of this is maintenance. Just keeping up with what needs to be fixed is a big part of making it enjoyable to have the house, because you're not constantly having things that are leaking or breaking.
Absolutely. And I can tell that just from you guys, and you're filling it out and the pictures. So I do want to show you this though. They listed for $549,950 and they sold for $580. So You are right. It is a seller's market in your neighborhood. Now, this was a year ago, so it may be a little bit different now.
I understand from checking out a lot of things around here that this is still a seller's market. I don't know how much, but that's what I hear and see in some of the detail that I have found. But I've not talked to an agent.
Let's go over this one other home before we jump into your picture. So this house sold for $601, and this is actually a pretty recent comp. So it was sold just a couple months ago. So it was listed at $600, and it sold for $601.
Yeah.
So somebody did pay over that. Now this house is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,700 square feet. My guess is some of those bedrooms are kind of small. If they have 5 bedrooms. So let's take a look at this and how this compares to yours. These are pretty pictures, actually. Very nice.
I don't like the pre-finished wood.
Yeah, that is a pre-finished wood. Yep.
I do know that I want to have professional pictures taken because to get the right angles and the right light. Yeah.
And this has that nice little screen porch. So, and the upstairs is okay. It's dated. The bathroom's bigger. Washer and dryer upstairs, it looks like.
Well, it's builder grade.
Yeah. Okay. So now that sold for $601. So that's a little bit bigger than yours. Now, we're talking, remember what I talked about before, appraised value and market value. The appraised value, unfortunately, an appraiser is going to use that listing in their appraisal. So let's say somebody comes and writes you an offer for $800. The appraisal may not come out because of these. Now, if your home is actually that fantastic, somebody's like, I want this no matter what, they might come in and pay that. So market value and appraised value are two different things. You just need to keep in mind that if somebody is overpaying for what the appraised homes are, then they may not be able to get their mortgage. But that's a problem down the road. Okay, so let's go over your pictures here. Super cute. Love the outside. Nice pictures. And I'm going to show all the garden pictures as well, because I can tell you guys
Well,
take.
I just sent them because there's every season has something different here.
I can tell you've taken great care with the gardening. So it's beautiful. And you've got beautiful hardwood. And there's that countertop, which looks great. That actually does look really nice. So wait, is that cork on the floor?
It is. It's warm and
that's
comfortable.
what I wondered what you would say to that. But it's warm, it's comfortable, nothing breaks when it falls, doesn't show dirt.
How does it clean?
Oh, great.
Oh, all you do is mop it with vinegar and water.
It has a modern finish on it.
So interesting. I've never actually seen a cork floor, and that's saying something. Definitely saying something.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Tell me about your cabinets. Are they painted or are those new?
Those are
Painted.
pre-catalyzed lacquer.
So you painted those, correct?
No,
they came from the factory.
They came like that.
Except for the back of the island.
Mm-hmm.
I painted the back of the island.
Down here?
Yeah, I matched the backside to the rest of it, but I use the same paint. So, I mean, the same type of paint.
Great. Those are nice.
That's the side of a double oven.
Oh, okay. There it is right there.
Yes.
Very nice.
That's a custom I built.
Mm-hmm. The woodwork looks great. Your furniture looks nice. I mean, as far as getting your home ready to go, it's ready. This is beautiful. I love this. That's great.
Yeah, we love it too. And this is one. So all the bathrooms have marble floors.
Oh, wow. So tell me about your marble floors. And this is just an aside. This has nothing to do with, selling. Because marble, that's a nice flooring. Did you did that for yourselves?
I did.
Ray did it.
Carolyn picks the colors and I do the labor.
Yeah, very, very nice.
That's our 1,200 square foot deck.
That's beautiful. I love it.
We love it. That's under roof, and then the rest of it is not.
Love it.
And we've had youth groups with 100
people for dinner on the deck.
Wow.
And then goes down to the fire pit.
Okay.
Laundry room is a marble floor, and it retains it so there's never can drain water damage to it. This is a mess because we've been trying to get rid of, and this is where we put stuff while we're
I call it your staging area.
Yeah, exactly. But that is, you can see the lockers.
Yep.
And the other side of
That's
it.
the mud room we took in when we
those are great lockers.
And it has a, not terrazzo floor. What is the floor?
Travertine.
Travertine floor. So that snow and whatever comes in is not a problem.
So I want to talk for a second about this. And the reason is because many people think that they can't have a real estate agent into their home until they're clean.
I took you at your word.
Seriously. And this is so important because, everybody can relate to something like this. We're not quite ready. The rest of the house looks great. We're putting everything in there. I don't care because by the time you list, that will all be clean. And so when I go into people's homes, what I say to them is I see the walls, I see the, condition, I see the location. You will never show your house like this.
No.
And I appreciate you sharing this one with me for sure. Because our audience, everybody has the same thing. If you guys are out there and you have a room like this, put it in the comments.
I know people who don't.
Those are the Christmas storage closets.
Great.
Up there. That's our upstairs hall, and the carpet would be replaced. So
that's a very unique bathroom, by the way.
You have a coffered ceiling, but there's no step up. The floors are heated.
Yeah.
And look at the wall, the head wall in the shower. Mm-hmm. There are no handles to turn water on.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, the controller's on the right.
See the little gray box above it's the Moen U. So I step up and I push my button and it comes up to 98 degrees and I get in.
Okay, so let's talk about how awesome your home is and how you will not find this somewhere else.
We did it to enjoy. We've been living with it and loving it. That's why we did it, to live it.
Let me ask you, are you going to be okay?
Oh, no. We'll start working on the next one.
Okay, so have you started looking at any homes yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye out.
I mean, not really. I look on Zillow. We don't know where we want to be yet because
Okay.
of our daughter.
If you're 2 years out, you want to start getting into homes, because I'm going to tell you, and listen, you guys get back to me after you start looking at some homes. You're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
We
You're
already
gonna
know that.
Yep. So then what you're going to do is be disappointed, and then you're going to have to decide what your options really are, because if there's no place for you to go, you're not moving.
I'm counting on finding something that needs help that other people don't want to tackle.
Okay.
We have thought about taking these homes that are a good shell,
Mhm.
Yeah, the
And-
foundation.
and a higher end home, like a $600,000 home, and flipping it like we've done our home.
Great. I think that's a great option, because you will be disappointed. Your house is fantastic. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, high end.
We have fun doing this together.
Oh, and here's the closet.
This is half of that bedroom.
Walk from that's a walk from my master into the closet.
Nice.
Our master closet, and everything is behind doors and drawers.
Very nice.
This is
Beautiful.
the whole bathroom. Also the same tile in the downstairs bathroom.
I mean, the house is absolutely beautiful.
And I love how I did the glass door. You can see that it's a little bit curved at the top.
Right
It's
here.
actually hinged. So if you're bathing kids or a dog, you just pull the door open and it stands open.
Yeah,
and
swings both ways.
It kneels, but doesn't go all the way. And it has the Mow and You in there too.
Yeah.
And this is the other walk-in closet, which is also a staging area right now.
So I just want to go through real quick these beautiful flowers that you have. I mean, you can tell you've really, really taken care of your home, and you've done this because you've loved it, right? Not because you're going to get the money out, right?
There was no retaining wall there. The yard went from the street all the way down through the house to a culvert out the back.
Yeah, I put grass seed out the first season, and it wound up in the ditch in the backyard.
So let me get back to that question I just asked you. You did this because you love the home, right?
Yeah.
Not because you're necessarily going to get out dollar for dollar, right?
Yeah, this is where we wanted to live.
Yeah. So many people in my audience, I think that's important for them to understand, is that if you're going to spend money, don't always worry about, are you going to get a return? Because if you've loved it, if you've enjoyed it, then that's what it's worth. That's what's so significant.
Absolutely. It has become exactly where we want to live, and hopefully somebody else will love it and enjoy it.
And there's certainly no way we could have paid a contractor to do a lot of the work, all of the work, and made it reasonably priced.
Yeah.
I tackle a lot of things, and
then we call a contractor when we need them.
Things that I don't understand or don't want to tackle, I'll definitely call a contractor.
So now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my assessment on where I think you're at and what you need to do to move forward.
Okay, great.
First of all, your house is beautiful, amazing. You could probably take pictures right now, minus those 2 rooms, but you really could. I mean, it looks wonderful. You've done a lot of high-end upgrades. You're definitely a modern move-in house. So this is what people will definitely pay a premium for. The question is how much of a premium? And that's the dance that you need to have. You don't want to go too high because your people aren't going to be in that price point, and you're not going to get any showings, because let's say you overprice it, and a buyer comes in and is like, wow, I really love this, but you know what? It's not worth whatever. They'll be like, you know what? We're just going to wait. If somebody's willing to pay that, then they can have it. And so then it kind of loses its excitement, and then everybody knows that it's overpriced. I am not seeing anything here that's going to put you on paper over like
$750.
$7.
Yeah. I get that.
I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know your neighborhood. Now, remember, that's appraised value. That's on paper. So there might be somebody who's willing to pay market value over that. So this is what you're going to be considering, is you're going to consider that if somebody comes to you with a really high price, with a mortgage contingency, you need them to write out that mortgage contingency. It needs to go, because you do not want to be beholden to that bank that sends the appraiser over, because some people will write a high offer and they'll say, you know what, it's not going to appraise. We'll have to renegotiate, when the appraisal comes down. So it's very important. This is just for you to be aware of this.
So will you say that again for me? You need to be ready to.
Okay. So let's pretend you listed it.
Yeah, it's an agreement that is not contingent on them getting a mortgage.
Right. So and I'm going to explain this for everybody because it does get a little complicated. Let's pretend that you listed at 800. I'm feeling like your appraisal is not going to be over 700. I mean, maybe 650, the appraised number. I think your market value is higher than your appraised value.
Yes,
So
it consistently is.
yeah. So let's say somebody comes in and writes you an offer for 800. The bank is going to send an appraiser in because the bank needs to know the actual value of that home. And the appraiser is going to say, well, apples to apples, it's only a 3-bedroom, 2,400 square foot home. That puts us at 650, let's say. And so there's a $150,000 gap that the bank will not give them a loan for. So the bank is going to give them a loan for 80% of the purchase price. If they don't have a lot of money and they're trying to finance most of it, the appraisal is going to knock them out. So your goal is, that's why you want somebody with a cash offer at that point, because they won't need an appraisal. And if somebody does come to you with a high number, you are going to say, you know what, we're writing that appraisal out. And you're going to tell your agent, if you have an experienced agent, the experienced agent is going to know this and is going to say, you're not going to appraise here. We need to take that out. And they can do either a gap or completely remove it. So, I mean, your market value is obviously higher than your appraised value is going to be. It's a good problem to have, it's a good problem. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, compared to the other houses in our neighborhood, I think physically it's in much better condition.
You know what? I mean, you've done an amazing job. So there are a couple things I want you to start doing. Okay. I want you to start actually figuring out where you're going to go. This usually is a 2-year process, because you need to get into these houses, because if there's no place you want to go, you got to come up with another plan. So that's the first thing, is to get out there and start looking. The second thing is I want you to get an agent in sooner rather than later to verify what I'm saying. I could be totally wrong. Okay. But you need to know whether it's 600 or 800, before you start looking for a new home and making all these plans. Because, and this is what I talk to people about. If you had waited to have this conversation a month before you're ready to go on the market, all of your plans could be thrown out the window if your price is not in line.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So that's why it's important. I usually say I like to have an agent in about a year ahead of time. That's a good price. You can do 18 months. 2 years is long for people, but if you want to have a partner as your real estate agent, then do it 2 years early, for sure.
That's what I'd like to do, and we'll like to get with you on that.
Okay, perfect. All you got to do is fill out the form that I have, and we will go ahead and find you a couple agents. You just fill it out and put in if you want 2 to 3. I already know a lot about you, so that's going to be pretty good. And then we're going to find the best agents for you in your neighborhood.
Is there any proactive advertising like you might see in a commercial real estate, or anything for real estate for the average person?
Like advertising that an agent would do?
Like, I was thinking that if you could get in with the headhunters and say, we have a list of houses that are up for sale right now in the area that's the best place to get to work from, it would be a benefit for them, and it gives you a place to make your house stand out.
So yes. And what I will tell you, and Carolyn, you are going to be putting my videos on the TV every night when you two are going to watch now, because I do talk about a lot of this, is that the best place for your home to go, and I say this, marketing doesn't really work in selling homes. I say that with kind of a asterisk a little bit. Okay. Marketing would be you have to have great photos, and you've got to have a great agent who knows how to communicate with other agents. Most buyers will find your home because of their agent and the location that they're in and the MLS, the shooting out to like Zillow and stuff like that. So that is your best route. Is your idea a bad one? Absolutely not. But that's not because those people who are coming in,
just seeking
it
out.
Can, but those people are already going to have agents.
Okay.
So what about that private? I don't remember what you called it, but it's the private
network,
a private listing that you can only see if you're working with an agent already.
So this is going to be different in different locations around the country. Okay. I'm in the Northeast Florida market in St. Augustine, and I'm also in the North Shore of Chicago market. And both these MLSs have 2 different ways of doing it. The Chicago MLS is really, really good. Like, if there's a model for what all these MLSs should be, I would say they are really good, because there's one big one basically for the whole Chicagoland area, and there's a back end. It's called the Private Listing Network.
Oh, so it's specific to them.
Well, yes, but other MLSs may have it as well. So
Okay.
like in Florida, you can put a coming soon into our MLS. The problem is it can only be in there for, I think, 14 days or something, and then it has to go live. I can put them into Chicago for like 6 months. So you have to talk to your specific agent about what their coming soon looks like. Now, we've talked about this before. Carolyn, I don't know if you watched some of the videos that I've done about, the Compass listings. Do you know what I'm talking about? So there is a huge lawsuit right now because Compass has this exclusive listing program where they will say to you, we're going to put your home into our Compass network. And the back end Compass network is going to shoot it out just to Compass agents. Okay. Now, Zillow has taken a stand against this and has said, if you market your home pre-listing without making it available to the general public, like in Chicago, we put it in the MLS, all the agents can see it, that's okay. But if you do that, Zillow will not publish your listing. You will be banned from Zillow.
I've seen the Zillow ban, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. And now Compass is suing Zillow saying that's, I don't know, anti-competitive or something, and you can't do it. So
Well, if they've got that much heft.
you know what? It's a really big deal. So for everybody watching, I just want you to understand that if you're talking to a Compass agent or somebody that does these, private listings, you really need to do your due diligence because, they're going to say it's easy. It's a great way to test it, but there are some ramifications. Now, I don't know if Zillow is going to continue going through with this. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just important that you guys do your research on this and make sure your agent knows. If you are talking to an agent who's not experienced, this could be a real problem. That's why we only refer like super experienced agents.
Why Zillow would have a problem with such a service?
Well, it's funny. I just did an interview for an online YouTube thing. I'll share that when it comes out. But I explained that in there is because Zillow makes their money off real estate agents who are paying to advertise on Zillow. So like when you go to Zillow and you click on, a Zillow lead, a Zillow home, it's going to tell you reach out to the agent. Well, that agent is not the listing agent. That agent is somebody who is paying to be in that position. The fewer homes that Zillow has, the less people are going to look at Zillow. And I will tell you that if Compass is keeping all of their listings, off of Zillow, or they are risking not being on Zillow, that's a big deal for an agent. Like as agents, we want our listings everywhere. And if you were to say to me, well, now your listings can't be on Zillow, I would have a real problem with that. And my sellers would too. Everybody's in it for the money. It's all about the money. Follow the money.
Of course. I have a question for you that I've not heard you answer anyway. If we were to get somebody to take really good photographs, it's not people who do portraits and it's not people who do other, families at the beach. Will the people you connect us with
I'm sure they have
somebody who take great, because I don't want them with their iPhone taking pictures.
Yep. So any agent that we refer to you, we check their listing photos and we make sure that they're really good. And these agents have photographers. And I've said this before, I was a photography major in college and I tried taking my own photos once with my real camera. The photographers that we have for homes, the agents all know, the top agents know who that is. In fact, I have a photographer right now at one of my houses in St. Augustine taking photos. He says it's like a 6-hour job. Like this and the agents really know. The agents will really know.
Okay, great. Great.
And it's a lot more than most people want to spend on having photographs taken.
It is. So if you look at my playbook, I've got 5 basic tiers of what a great agent should be. And at the base of that is experience. And so an experienced agent is going to have great marketing, great support, great team. They're going to be honest and they're going to be professional. And once I put an agent in front of you, your whole idea is that you're going with your gut, because when I'm putting that agent there, you can count on the fact that they know what they're doing. And you might not click with somebody, it might not be a fit, but that's all you have to decide when we put agents in front of you.
But you've vetted them in the background. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
All right.
For all of this.
This was good. I have to say, we were going to try and keep it a little shorter. This was a great, great conversation, just because you were both so open and honest and willing to share with me. And, this channel is about that. It's about educating people. So if you guys are out there and you are thinking you want more education, make sure you subscribe. But I really appreciate both of you, Carolyn and Ray, for stepping in and helping everybody out there. And so I'm asking everybody watching, give them some kudos in the comments. And, we're gonna keep following you. Absolutely. Do you have any last things you want to say?
No, I think I'm good.
No, I think this was very educational, and
Very
thank you
educational.
for taking the time to see us.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray, do I have a new subscriber?
No, I've got too little time. I'll
Hey,
let her
you know what?
question.
I knew you were going to say that. And my husband doesn't watch my videos either. And he said, I say, why don't you watch them? He says, I'm not moving.
But he's always wanting to show me these videos with a new way to build something, or a new way. Right now he's redoing his whole workshop. Yeah.
There you go. So also, if you guys are out there and you haven't joined my Facebook group, we are almost at 5,000. We are a nice group of people who are there for you on your journey. It's just a community that I'm giving you to kind of throw things around in and talk about. So everybody, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.